House of the Dragon review. Man, this series has kind of gone downhill, I have to admit it. All the other seasons, it was kind of tolerable. Season 2 was tolerable. It was fine because there was some build up and the dialogue still like made sense. It looked like it was going to eventually pay off into something, but now after watching this, I have to admit it's kind of getting bad, to be honest, because I'm looking at this, I'm looking at all the battles, right? And the battles are basically the same as Game of Thrones season 8, where instead of having a full-blown battle like you would expect, where it takes several chapters like in the books, here it just they show you the ending of it and that's it. You see a bunch of ships burning and oh, it's all over now. It's a few scenes and now we go back to people talking. I had no issue with the talking before in the other seasons because it felt like there was some context leading up to something else. Here, literally, okay, there are scenes where there's a battle. There's a super important ship battle. And in the middle of it, there's like a scene of two characters that nobody cares about. No one has seen. And their entire conversation is just, hello, how are you? How are you? We're going to be in the union now or whatever, dude. I'm not even paying attention to the stuff anymore. I don't even care. This series is, yeah, it's good. There's still scenes that are good here. There's obviously heart into what they put into these dragons. Finally, you see the dragons burning all the shit down. Okay, you got to be grateful for that. But at the same time, it's not like a good series. It's turned into something where you just scroll on Instagram while people are talking, and then, oh, now there's shit happening, time to tune back in, and then again, it's just more meaningless, stupid conversations where you see that it's not going to pay off into anything. There's no build-up. I think that the problem here is probably because they were like, we need to fill 1 hour of screen time for this episode. How do we do that? That's just it. Okay, and yeah, it's not that good. I talk shit about your movies. That's why I'm here, and I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I was hopeful for this, but some of the things are so bad. Like, for instance, okay, the Lannisters. Man, the Lannisters. The Lannisters were an interesting part of this whole thing because in Game of Thrones, the Lannisters were like some of the smartest characters, and in this series, they're like dumb. Okay, they're super dumb and arrogant. They're just absolute buffoons, clowns, you know. And it's an interesting concept because what if the Lannisters were a couple of centuries back and they were super stupid? Fine, that's interesting. That's an interesting concept. Why kill them off this way? Why kill them off screen? Are you insane? Are you mad? How could you do this? Like, they're important characters. And Game of Thrones, this entire story is about watching characters with hubris meet their ending, right? That's part of why this is so interesting. No, the one Lannister twin, just off screen, they cut off his head. The scene before that, he was supposed to go somewhere to regroup, and then the next second he's like dead. What happened to the regrouping? How did his own people turn against him and cut off his head? Aren't you going to show us that? No, I guess that's not important. You know, just more scenes of talking, please. More scenes of talking. We didn't need to see that guy die. Even though we watched him for 2 seasons. Nope. That's not important, I guess. And the other Lannister twin, man. So this guy, okay. It's so stupid, man. Like, he is getting into a union with the Triarchy, with this warrior woman. And the whole shtick there was that he had to beat her in a mud battle. And there was like a whole interview about how they wanted to make this a funny scene. Ha ha ha, you know, this is a serious medieval war thing. And she has to be a funny character, though, for some reason. Okay, whatever. And he beats her. And then in the next season, okay, she's like doing some insane maneuvers. And this dude, the other Lannister twins, like, what are you doing? And she's just like, I don't care. I never cared about any of this. I'm just going to betray you. and he's like, what? Which is like, wasn't the whole point that he was supposed to fight her and beat her in a battle to gain her respect? That's like their tradition. These people have traditions. So then don't they honor the stuff that they say? And here's the thing, right? There's so many things from the books that are already missing. It feels like I haven't even read the books. So I don't even know. Okay, but she throws him off her ship First of all, she's like, you're gonna drown with all that armor or something in a previous scene, and it's just such a stupid way to set up that. And then in the next scene, she just throws him off. There's like a huge tide, and the ship is about to get shipwrecked, and she just throws him into the water. I know that they're pirates, whatever. They're dishonorable or whatever, right? It's fine. But imagine you're a pirate and you see your captain throw a dude off. Like, I know he's a different dude. He's not part of your pirate union or whatever. She throws him into the water. Wouldn't you be like, who am I? Like, guys, what is that? Is she gonna throw us? Am I next? Like, am I the next dude? That would never happen in history. That is such an unrealistic thing, unless there's something in the books that explains like how this is okay that she did that. The Vikings, never would you be able to throw a guest or someone from your ship and people would just continue just fighting normally. Like that would never happen. They throw this dude off the ship and another dude, and the ship like gets normal weight and passes through the canal. That makes no sense. They don't throw any wine. They don't throw any boxes or cargo off the ship. They throw out two dudes. You're telling me that was enough to make the ship lighter? It's just so stupid, man. The writing is just so ridiculous of this thing, you know? He can't take his armor. Like, you don't see him drown. You don't see him die or anything. In movie context, that's basically the character survived or something. In the books, I'm told, I don't know, I haven't read the books because I don't care that much. But in the books, apparently he gets tortured, and that's an interesting nuance for the characters that's removed because we have to make our shows dumber so that people can scroll on TikTok. But in the books, apparently he gets captured and he gets tortured, which is like an interesting part of the story. Why did you remove that? And in the very next scene, mind you, a guy falls into the water. But because he's an important character, he takes off his armor in the span of like 5 seconds. How did that happen? Why couldn't the other dude, the Lannister that fell down, take off his armor? Maybe it's because his portrayal was so good that I'm getting caught up into this. It wasn't that great of a portrayal. It was a good portrayal, okay? The two twins were basically the same, but what I was really impressed with this dude was how he was able to emulate the Lannister voice of the other actors from Game of Thrones. That was pretty impressive. But such a stupid ending to that whole thing. Okay. The fights, they barely show them to you, and then you get more dialogue that's like meaningless and dumbed down, and it doesn't lead anywhere. It was good to see Otto Hightower suffer, I guess. That character deserved that. His daughter, Alicent. Right. What is even happening with this character anymore? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Again, I was watching this and I was thinking, this can't be what's in the books. Right. This can't be it, because all of a sudden she's trying to completely undermine and sabotage her own family, her kids, and she's trying to hand the kingdom to Rhaenyra for some reason. Why are you acting this way all of a sudden? Why are you acting against the best interests of yourself and everyone else? Are you supposed to be an evil villain? Are you just the character that's supposed to be hated and there's no humanity to you? Why are you doing this? It just makes no sense. The stuff that she was saying and doing, it just makes absolutely no sense why she would act that way whatsoever. Yeah, the battles aren't that well done. Here's what they should have done. Instead of having all that build up in season 2, have that battle that seemed like it should be at least 3 episodes, and have it be part of the last season and cut off somewhere there in the middle, instead of having it in the very beginning of the series, and then you have this huge battle and you just completely overlook it, and then in the other episodes you barely have stuff going on. But okay, the positives. The actress who plays Rhaenyra is great. There's no bad acting. She really carries this, and the actor for Daemon is very good as well. He carries this. They're all carrying this series so hard, considering the material that they're given is kind of kind of faltering here and there. And it's showing some weaknesses. It's showing some plot holes and some pacing issues where, like, I'm not even sure anymore. But it's not below 5 or 6 out of 10, mind you. Like, the show doesn't completely suck yet, but it really reminds you of Game of Thrones season 8 so much. It looks like it's repeating the exact same mistakes. People, like, too many characters teleporting between different areas, and you don't even know how they got there. And when I saw this dude, this was in the very first episode, mind you, he takes off this huge armor while he's in the water, and he climbs back onto the ship. How did you do that? You're underwater, you're wet, you have zero gravity, you have so many things going up against you. Medieval armor, you needed at least 3 or 5 people to help you to put it on and then take it off. You could not take that off of yourself. So what is going on? And the characters are just getting killed left and right like this very quickly. And there's this idea that it's like a nuclear war almost. Everyone is suffering. I get that. It's a good portrayal to an extent, but I feel like they could have done it even better. It could have been even better because the characters, they're just meeting their demise so quickly. They're suffering so quickly. It's all happening too fast. It's too fast, man. It's too fast. But yeah, it's an average show at this point. It's something to watch in the background. That's what it's becoming. It's not like the classic. It's not season 1 to 4 of Game of Thrones. It's not that. Season 1 of this was way better. Season 2 was just build up, and now they're dropping the ball. What are you doing, House of the Dragon? Do better. Do better than this. Yeah. Get back on track. Fix this because, yeah, the pacing is way off. It's way off. But the action scenes are cool. You know, they have heart behind them. If only they could show the full battles and not just the last 5 minutes of them when everything's already happened. They're doing that way too much now. But yeah, this is that review. And so yeah, that's it. Bye.